Okay, Kischa and Mebin, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I make prescription lenses for your new Rayban 2132 new Wayfarer color 6012 and the 55 eye size. Of course, the color 6012, hope I'm getting all this, I don't want to miss anything, I apologize, I'm not a professional cinematographer, I am a licensed optician. But the 6012 is the tortoise and beige. Of course, this is your Italian leather Rayban case. Your Rayban cleaning cloth. It's a little wrinkle. There we go. That's your Rayban cleaning cloth. And of course, this is a little plastic sleeve that Rayban puts on the left temple of every frame to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping. And of course, I'm going to put that on there when I ship to you. I'm going to take out the heavy, dark glass lenses, and I'm going to put in there some lightweight lenses. Of course, I'm wearing the color 6144, which is the silver metallic. I'm wearing the same frame as you, but in the 52 eye size. Let's cut lenses for your 55. I'm going to take your Italian frame and put it into my French edger, and hopefully they won't start fighting. I'm just going to wake it up real quick. So this style, everyone wants to know, how does the machine know what shape lens to cut? This is why. The stylus is coming out and is tracing the shape of the right lens before it moves over and traces the shape of the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Ray-Ban frame and you'll receive clear, free single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether these are prescription or not. So that big green circle, or that is the shape of your lens. Now that's the actual size. I work on it while it's magnified. I need to put in your pupillary distance, which happens to be 30 in each eye. That goes there, so I'm going to drop that down to 30. And let's go ahead and get your lenses prepped. Your right eye reads -2, -75 at 97, -2, -75 at 97. I'm going to spin the axis wheel on my Marco 101 lensometer to 97. I'm going to take your lens out of the protective sleeve. I'm going to zero it out, make sure it's dialed in perfectly. Put the power drum on -2. I'm going to rotate your lens until the sphere power comes in clearly. I'm going to find the optical center of your lens, check your astigmatism correction. All that looks good, and I'll explain what that is in just a moment. Now I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses. 1, 2, and 3, and that is the right lens. Let me do the same thing now for the left. -275 -1 at 102, -275 -1 at 102. Just put the axis wheel right there. Put the power drum on -275. Rotate the lens until the sphere power comes in clearly. Check your astigmatism correction. That's looking good, and let's put 3 dots on your lenses. And I'm going to darken those so you can keep score at home. 1, 2, and 3, and that is the left lens. So let's go back down here. Put your right lens into the platform. Now this is a block, or as I like to call it, Jenny from the block. I need to apply, this is what's going to hold your lens in place while it is cutting, so I need to apply a double-sided adhesive sticker to this. This little silver button on the back of it is a little magnet that's also going to hold it in place in the blocker as well as in the edger. So I've already placed the double-sided adhesive sticker on there. I'm going to pull the paper away to make the other side sticky. The green side is the sticky side. I'm going to place that magnet where it corresponds with the matching one, and it holds it in place. The reason why I put those 3 dots on your lenses is it shows me exactly where to orient the lens so you see your best. So with those 3 dots, this blue cross is the geometric center of the frame. If you measured vertically as well as horizontally, that is the geometric center. Your eye is just inset from there. Come on, frame, don't be running away. And so I'm going to get, that is the center dot is your optical center. I put those other 2 dots because it shows me the horizon, a 180 meridian if you will. And I'm going to go ahead and hit that button. That block is going to be placed onto your right lens. I'm going to do the same thing now for the left lens. It automatically mirrors, so it gives me a PD of 30. Your combined PD is 60 divided by 2 gives me 30 in each eye. I'm going to get your left lens, the optical center, lined up inside that orange cross, and then make sure these two dots are on that center line, and that gives me a straight and even meridian. Where's that other sticker? Here we go. Take the paper off, line the magnets up, hit the button, and then the arm comes down and places the block onto the left lens. So this is the edger. This actually costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy at least one, put it on your kitchen counter, and then you can cut lenses at home. You won't need me anymore. The actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material. This wheel in the center with that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to put the knife-like bevel on the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So let's go ahead and just wake this up and program the computer a little more. That is going to be the shape of your right lens. From experience, I'm going to take it down about 1/4 millimeter because I know this frame has a deeper bevel than the size I wear. I do not want to polish the lens. I do not want to put a bevel on the front surface, only a light one on the back. So I'm going to take your right lens, put it into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. Hit the green button, which is start in every language. This clamp shuts, and then two white styluses are going to trace the shape of the right side of the frame, making sure the lens is large enough to fit into the frame. And of course it measures twice, measuring the thickness at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so your lens fits best inside the frame. I can move the bevel forward, I can move it backwards, but just to minimize any edge thickness whatsoever. Now in just a moment your lens will touch down onto the cutting wheel. Now your lenses are made of polycarbonate. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. Your lens is bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you have to reapply whenever you're out in full exposure to the sun. Now the other nice thing about your lens is it's an aspheric lens. Aspheric simply means not spherical or not round. A spherical lens is round in every direction and gives you that ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance when people look at you. So not only are your lenses thinner and lighter, but this front curvature is much flatter as well. So it's going to fit into the frame and give you the best cosmetic fit possible. Now it's actually tracing one last time to know exactly again and precisely where to place the bevel so it fits best in the frame. After the cutting cycle, it's just triple checking all measurements. That's what $40,000 will buy you. So if you also notice your lens is completely flat like a nickel, if I were to take it out now, it could stand up on the counter on its own. Now it's getting the V-shaped bevel and the knife-like bevel, so it'll fit inside the bevel of the frame. Now it's a very dull knife like me, but it's a knife-like bevel nonetheless. Although your lens is going to be so sharp that you will be able to cut a piece of wet tissue, providing you soak the tissue in a bucket of water overnight, and then Kischa, take all your strength and press down on that lens and you might be able to cut through a wet piece of tissue. Now if you just notice water has kicked in, it does that for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle just to wash away any optical debris that may be on the lens, optical sawdust if you will. Now this arm is moving into place and you will see a little round wheel on the end, something you would find on a Dremel tool. That's what's putting the safety bevel on the front surface of the lens and then the back surface. That's just to smooth out any rough edges that may be left over from the cutting cycle. So it's completed the front surface, which is the convex surface of the lens, and now it is doing the concave rear surface of the lens. Got that convex and concave? And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day, although you will be tested on this later. So in just a moment, I will take the lens out and we will see if we are lucky enough for the lens to fit into the frame first time around. I'm going to open up the Chuck, the Charles, you know me, I like to be formal with things. So I'm going to dry your lens off, use my thumbnail to wipe away any optical debris that the water did not rinse away, and it didn't. You see that? I ought to include that when I ship to you. I just use my thumbnail to scrape that off, and then I let it drop to the floor. Why do I leave it on the floor? Because hey, the clown gets to have fun while he's at work too. Plus, if anyone comes over, it makes it look like I've been working. I can fool people that way. So okay, to see if this fits first time around, I'm going to tuck the lens in at the outside corner using my thumbs. I'm going to press down at the nose, and this is fighting me, so it's not even close. So I'm going to take down another 1/4 of a millimeter, put the back in and hit retouch. Now for all my American friends who have no clue what a millimeter is, it is the distance between my thumbnails. I'm going to take a 1/4 millimeter of that off, going around the circumference of your lens until it fits in the frame easily. I do not want to force it into the frame. That would cause the frame to stretch, or even worse, if you can imagine this as a gutter, we call that in the optical business rolling, where the front of the lens rolls outward. It shortens the life of the frame, plus gives you an ugly cosmetic appearance. And because I'm a perfectionist and I cut every pair of lenses that get shipped worldwide, you want someone like me on your side who's going to make sure that these lenses are cut perfectly every single time. It takes about a minute longer, but that's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. It's that little extra at the beginning. I know it's corny, but again, I'm a one-man operation and I take pride in my work, and I'm not going to turn out any subpar work. So again, it's getting the safety bevel placed on the convex surface of the lens. Now the wheel's going to move over and place that on the concave rear surface of the lens. So that is done. Let's open the door up. Let's take the lens out of the Charles. Okay, let me call it the Charlie. Take it out of the Charlie. Run my thumbnail around again. And I'm going to see if the lens fits in there this time. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner. Press down the nose, and now it snaps in easily. I'm going to take your left lens, put it into the chuck, flip that over to L, and hit start. Just like before, the clamp's going to shut. Then the stylus is going to trace the shape of the left side of the frame this time to make sure it's large enough to fit into the frame. That is going to be your left lens. Measuring the thickness at every point to know exactly where to place the bevel, so the lens fits inside the frame for the best cosmetic fit, and that you have no edge thickness whatsoever. So when you buy glasses from people online and they charge you for prescription lenses, which is no bueno. If you want the thinner and lighter weight unbreakable polycarb, they charge you an upgrade fee for that. And then if you want the flat surface aspheric lenses, they charge you another upgrade fee for that. So this is someone else's top tier premium lens that you get for free just for buying the frame from me. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this block, pull that sticker off, dry that lens off, and I'm going to keep that red dot on there. In fact, let me darken that red dot while we're here, because we're going to use that later on. Let's go ahead and measure. I can leave that down there. Let's go ahead and measure the prescription to make sure this is cut correctly. So we're at -2, -75 at 97. I'm going to put the axis wheel back to 97. I'm going to put it in just above that red dot. Put the clamp on there, and I'm going to check the prescription. And I'm getting -2. Exactly, that is the spherical component of your lens. Check your astigmatism correction. Let me just read that perfectly. And I'm getting -275. It's one tick mark away from 3. The way your prescription works, the unit of measurement we use is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0 and goes up in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, and so on. So your right eye is a -2, so you need 8 steps of correction for your farsightedness. You are nearsighted. Without your glasses on, everything from here in is wonderful. You need glasses to see far away, so you need 8 steps of correction. Without your glasses on, everything is actually much larger in real life than it appears. So when you put your glasses on, your lens, because it is a minus lens, it will minify down to the correct size. So you need 8 steps of minification to get everything the correct size. Now you have 3 steps of astigmatism correction. There is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. That is it. It's not a disease. It's not an affliction. It fluctuates. It comes and goes, but everyone freaks out when they hear that word. It is no big deal. This first number makes everything the correct size. Astigmatism is what makes everything fuzzy and blurry. That's why 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. Astigmatism is what causes you to squint. The little squint in Kischa, and honestly, that Clint Eastwood look, it ain't a good look for you, girl. So when you put your glasses on, no more squinting. No more jacked up lenses too. Can I just say that? Alright, but how would I know that? Okay, and so think of the astigmatism correction as the fine-tune knob. We're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 97. A straight line is 0 to 180. So 0, 90, and 180. That's where we're going to turn that knob, if you can imagine this being a knob. So we're going to turn that fine-tune knob of 3 steps to 97. So we're just past 90 to about 97. Your left eye needs a little bit more correction. You actually need 11 steps of minification for your farsightedness. You need 4 steps of correction for your astigmatism. And we're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 102, just beyond the 97 to 102. Now, these first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. It really doesn't mean anything. It just tells us where to turn things to make them nice and crisp. Now, the reason why we're ending up with 275 over here, you remember high school algebra, you add 2 like signs together? Yeah, forget about that. I don't remember it either. I'm just kidding with you. Let's use today's terms. If someone borrowed $2 and then they borrowed another 75 cents from you, they would owe you $2.75. We are at 275. So we're going to start off at 275 for your left lens. With another 4 steps, we're going to end up with minus 375. So someone's going to owe you $3.75. But it ain't me. I don't owe you nothing, except an explanation on how your lenses work. Alright, so let's dry your lens off. It does need a little bit more, so we'll see. It's slightly thicker since it's a stronger prescription, but we're going to see if this fits into your frame. If not, we'll take it down a little bit more. So let me scrape all this away. Again, I'm a perfectionist, or should I just say OCD? So I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner. Then using my thumbs, I press down. Come on now. Come on. It's a little bit wet and slippery. There we go. It snaps in perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and take this block off. Pull the adhesive sticker off. Dry everything off. Still got a good red dot right there. So let's go down. We're going to measure, put it in right above that red dot. Close the clamp to hold it in place. Spin the axis wheel back to 102, the fine-tune knob. That is the fine-tune knob. Let's put it back to 102. Turn the power until I read minus 275. Check your astigmatism correction. That's right, the squinting machine. And we're at minus 375, so that is made correctly. That couldn't be made any more correctly if I had done it myself. Now I'm going to check your pupillary distance, which is 60. So I'm going to turn the card over, grab my PD stick. I'm going to place the 0 against my thumb on the right lens. And then when we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 60. So that is made perfectly as well. This is the time in every video that I explain that when you get these in the mail, and by the way, free shipping anywhere in the United States. But Kischa, when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these lenses, this frame is going to be either too large or too small for you. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And I am no exception to that rule. I'm part of that 80%. But because 80% of people are like that, that's why 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. but I'm going to get these in standard alignment first. The standard alignment, also known as the 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. I have one ear that is higher than the other. So that's why they do not sit level on the counter, but they sit level on me. So let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. Now I'm going to flip it back over, press down. There is no wobble. I make sure that each temple overlaps perfectly and they're not askew in any way whatsoever. That is made perfectly. I check the tension on each hinge to make sure that's matching as well. So if anyone has any questions about there, what I can and can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Now Kischa and Mebin, I hope you enjoyed watching as I made, of course you can't even see that, that white print is too light, but these are the Rayban 2132, color 6012 in the 55 eye size. Now she has promised me to put this on her Facebook page, and before her millions of friends blow up my website, I just want you to know I have a temporary website up until it is finished, freeprescriptionlenses.com. I should have a new and much more knowledgeable website in early April. I'm going to have everything listed from Rayban, Polo, Gucci, Prada, Versace, Coach, Michael Kors. Who am I leaving out? I can't remember. But anyway, if anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Kischa, again, I hope you enjoyed watching as I made your new banging pair of Ray-Bans, and everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.